here. These aren't movies, but these are something that really affect me in a way. And this is something I've been watching recently, which is Breaking Bad. I actually rewatched this recently. This last summer, a year ago, I was like on holiday. I had no idea what I was going to do with myself because I normally do London Real all my time. And I started watching the first episode of Breaking Bad, which I'd watched 5 or 6 years earlier, and I watched the whole series. So it's like 6 or 7 seasons of it. And I found it really interesting. And first of all, it's beautifully shot, great cinematography. Again, long form storytelling in the form of these Netflix series is a new form of communication that as humans we've never had access to only in the last few years. And to be able to follow a story over a course of 50 hours, I mean, that's almost like biblical storytelling. And I think it can really have an effect on you. And the biggest thing I learned from Breaking Bad wasn't how to distribute meth, how to crush your enemies, how to survive cancer, which is something we all see Walter White doing. What I really noticed from this movie was fascinating was this simple point, is that Walter White thought that money would solve his problems. And so he didn't want to die without his family having the money to live without him so they could continue to exist. And there's a great line in this series where the guy from Pollos Hermanos says, "A man provides." That's what he said. And so Walter White is obsessed about stocking up on cash so he can have that to give to his family. And one thing we realize at the end of the show is that nobody wants his money. Nobody wants Walter White's money. And at the very end, his family, they actually hate him for his money, and they actually hate him. They wish that they never had his money. They wish he never actually looked after the money. And at the very, very end, Walter says something to his wife after, it's like one of the last parts of the episode, and he says, "The whole time in this series, I said I was doing it for you. I was doing it for the family." And he's always saying that the whole time. And he's killing people, and he's robbing money, and he's making tons of meth, and he's like, "I'm doing it for the family. I'm doing it for the family." And the whole time you're looking at him like, really? And at the very last episode, he said, "I did it for myself. You're right. I did it for myself." And so the whole thing is, all of Breaking Bad, this guy, Walter, is really doing it for his own ego, but he's telling himself he's doing it for his family and for others. And that's how he justifies all of the horrible things he does. And I loved seeing that because it made me think in my life, what do I do? Or what do you do in that sense? A lot of you will just justify anything you have to do to get the money to take care of your family. But at some point, like in Breaking Bad, it obviously goes too far. So you really, for me, Breaking Bad was all about my relationship with money and what I was willing to do. Also, when Walter's busy selling meth and doing all this other crazy stuff, he's never spending time with his family, which is supposedly the reason he's doing all this for. So for me, I love Breaking Bad because there's so many statements that it makes about humans and how we really value money, overvalue money, and don't really think about family and other people around us more. And so that's really what I got from Breaking Bad.